Right, a special good morning to you. Friday, the 12th of February, and today is the last day of this half term. So, even though you haven't been in school, most of you, some of you have, you've been working extremely hard at home and been extremely, very, very, very proud of you. Lots of the work I've seen, the kindness that's being shown, the hard work, the people who are going to bed nice and early, getting up, getting on with their work, the people who've been taking part in live lessons, people have been watching assemblies, people have been exercising, people have been sending messages to their teachers. You have been first class. But today is the last day, and next week we get a lovely week off. I know I'm looking forward to a rest. I've been working really, really, really hard here in school, particularly this week, with getting everything ready for you to come back, you infant pupils. So after half term, you get to come back if you're in nursery or Flying Start nursery, reception year 1 and year 2. You'll come back on Wednesday the 24th of February, and that's going to be an exciting time for you. Juniors, we don't know yet when you will be coming back. However, hopefully it won't be too long for you either. Some of you will come into emergency education. I'll also see you after half term anyway. So have a lovely week off. Hope you really enjoy. And today's assembly is about Chinese New Year, because today is the start of Chinese New Year celebrations, the year of the ox. And if we were in school, we'd be having lots of celebrations here, making lots of things in school. And I know a lot of you have been undertaking home learning activities on Chinese New Year. But today we hear about what a family, there's a little girl called Jennifer, who tells us all about how her family celebrate Chinese New Year. And I know tonight I'm going to have some Chinese food in my house, and I'm going to think about all of the people who will be celebrating Chinese New Year. So we hear about a little girl called Jennifer, and she tells us all about Chinese New Year celebrations back home in China. Please listen carefully. And I think it's like anything, whether it's Christmas, whether it's any type of festival, families often will celebrate it in many, many different ways. It was that time of year again at Wakefield Primary School. It was Chinese New Year, and as the children and teachers prepared the school for the celebrations, Jennifer thought back to when she lived in China. Wakefield Primary School had a number of Chinese families, all of whom would be celebrating in style this weekend. Sounds like St. Helens, doesn't it? "I'd like the banner and the lanterns to go up there," said the head teacher, Miss Barnett, pointing to the empty space on the dining hall wall. The children in Year 6 were very helpful and had been asked to prepare the hall for the celebrations. "This is going to be another wonderful festival, isn't it?" said Carly to her best friend Ryan. "It sure is. Do you remember last year when we had a special Chinese lunch?" she replied. As the two children continued to talk about the festival, Jennifer was busy unpacking red and yellow lanterns from the big decorations box. "I expect you have lots of these at home, Jennifer," said Miss Barnett as she bent over to help her. "Yes, we have lots of decorations indoors. In fact, Miss Barnett, I was just thinking about how we used to celebrate New Year back home in China." "When I used to live there," she replied. "Perhaps you could tell us about it this afternoon?" asked Miss Barnett. That afternoon, Jennifer shared her memories with the children of Year 6. Her teacher was absent, so Miss Barnett, the head teacher, was covering the class. She was very pleased to be able to share what Jennifer was telling the children. Chinese New Year is celebrated in a big way in China. Many call it the Lunar New Year, and my family call it Spring Festival. It is a festival of 15 days, and I can tell you what happens at each stage. Not all families follow this exact pattern of celebration, but many families in China do. It all starts on day 1, which is when we welcome the gods of the heavens and earth. On this day, some families choose not to eat meat because they believe this will lead to long and happy lives for themselves and their families. The second day is all about prayer. We pray to our ancestors as well as the gods. On this day, we are very kind to those around us, especially our animals and pet dogs. Dogs are especially important on this day, as it is believed that the second day is the birthday of all dogs. So I'll have to think about that with my dog Rosie. The third and fourth days are very fun. It is when all the sons are to pay respect to their mother and father-in-laws. Many families choose to do something special on this day. I know that my cousin took his mother-in-law out for a very special meal and a trip to see a show. Mother-in-law, that is the mother of your wife or husband. Why do you think it's important then that a lot of this festival is about prayer and respect? I suppose they're very important things in life, isn't it? The fifth day is all about wealth. It's called Po Wu, and there is one very important thing we must remember on this day, and that is we are not allowed to visit anyone, for it is considered bad luck. On this day, my family and I usually stay inside and play a game or catch up with our homework. After this day, we are then free to go and visit our friends and family. For the following 4 days, we visit each other and pray for good fortune. Oh, this is going to be difficult this year, isn't it, with all of the restrictions that we've got, because a lot of these things you wouldn't be allowed to do, not in this country anyway, but I'm not sure what the rules in China are at the moment. On day 7, families usually go for a special meal, although we have our meal together in our house. It is what we know as the birthday of all humans, and it is celebrated with a drink made from 7 different types of vegetables. Oh, you'll be getting all of your 7 a day there in one go. We eat raw fish, which is supposed to make you successful, and noodles, which is supposed to make you live long. I always say a prayer as I eat and drink on this day and hope that my wishes come true for a long and happy life. The following 2 days are for prayer again. Between days 10 and 12, we send dinner invitations to each other. The meals we eat are usually very rich and exciting on these days, which is why on day 13, we eat only simple foods to detox our bodies from the heavy foods we have eaten previously. The best part is yet to come. On day 14, we all prepare the Lantern Festival. This is quite like what we're doing today in school. We come together to decorate our homes, gardens and streets with lanterns and other decorations. If you have seen pictures of Chinatown, you will understand what I mean when I say that we hang lanterns across the street from one neighbour's window to another. On day 15, we have a special celebration and party. One important part of the celebration is that on this day, we eat a vegetarian meal. All the ingredients inside the meal symbolise good fortune and happiness. White is an unlucky colour at New Year, and so we avoid eating foods which are white. So vegetarian, no meat at all. Miss Barnett asked Jennifer to tell the children about other traditions the Chinese follow at the time of New Year. Well, there are some things that we must never do at New Year. For example, we are not allowed to talk about scary things or discuss death or dying. It's a time when we must have paid back all what we owe to others. One of the funniest traditions of Chinese New Year for me is that at midnight on New Year's Eve, every window and door must be opened and then closed again, because this symbolises saying goodbye to the old year and welcoming the new year into our homes. Do you like the sound of all these celebrations? Oh, they sound great, don't they? The party is fantastic with large-scale dragons, lots of loud music and dancing. I enjoy myself every year. I am always impressed by the amount of effort that goes into the festival. Some people make their lanterns by hand, usually from yellow or red paper. Lanterns are often shaped like butterflies, birds, and many other animals. Large light displays are seen across China, and floats or vans are driven through the streets with wonderful displays of red and gold. Some cities in northern China make lanterns from blocks of ice. The class thanked Jennifer for telling them all about Chinese New Year. Afterwards, there was some time left over to continue decorating the school hall. "It all makes so much more sense now, Jennifer," said one of her friends. The children continued to prepare for Chinese New Year, which they knew now would be a very special celebration indeed. So, have a think about it. Jennifer explained to her friends how Chinese New Year is celebrated. The 15-day festival is very important to the Chinese, and at every stage there are rules and customs you need to adhere to. The Lantern Festival at the end of day 15 of 15 days is what most of all of us will remember most. A festival of light and colour, music and dance, symbolising hope and prosperity. Well, I've learned a lot this morning from that. I hope you enjoyed too. Those of you who are celebrating Chinese New Year, I hope that you have a fantastic time. And we will all be thinking of you at St. Helens. So, as I said, have a lovely week off. Enjoy, relax, recharge your batteries. I shall see some of you after half term. Others I will see online through my assemblies. As we always do to finish our assembly, we'll say our school prayer. Un, Dau, Tri. This is our school. Let peace dwell here. Let the rooms be full of contentment. Let love abide here. Love for one another and love for life itself. Let our school be a lovely place where all of us are caring to each other, to work our best and show our smiling face, staff and children helping one another today and always. Rugby tomorrow, Wales, Scotland, I wonder. I didn't think that my predictions were wrong, weren't they? I didn't think that Wales were going to win last week against Ireland, but they did. So they're the big underdogs going up to Scotland to play, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure who the Swans are playing, but hopefully that'll be a good game. I know this week they lost to Man City in the FA Cup, but they played very well and they gave a good account of themselves, which is important. And they did very, very well to get as far in the cup competition as they did. So have a lovely half term, and I shall see you all after a week. As we always say, over and out.